Hey everybody, I'm Psychosaurus, and well, we got huge changes in Age of Empires Online recently, and they're pretty big. So let's take a look at those. So one big thing is gonna be advisor updates set free. Now I'll go through those after going through these changes, pretty much. It's gonna be pretty fast. So bug fixes. Fixed an issue with minimum tools, text size was not increased to 250 as intended, which I mentioned in the last changes video. I adjusted some loading screens, yeah, those tips. Some are pretty huge, so just make them fit in there. Fixed an issue where Greek ballistas didn't have 5.5 movement speed as intended in champion mode. Yeah, so it's champion mode, I don't really care. Art of the updates, updated the icons for light speed of the king and heavy speed of sacrifice to be more consistent with other legendary gear icons. Yeah, if you take a look at the icons, they are more, they look shinier. They, they shine in those icons. It's really nice. Okay, there are some champion mode changes. I don't really care about this. It's a lot of changes. Just I don't really want to go through this. I don't really care. This is gonna be mainly noticeable in PvP champion mode and skirmish champion mode. So if you play champion mode, yeah, these are changes for you. I'll leave the link to this thread in the description, so if you want to take a look at these for yourself, go ahead. I don't really care. Okay, updated the champion mode website to the latest build. Pretty much they have champion mode website where you can take a look at the current tech trees for each save in the champion mode. So you can see like all the tags that have been added, the cost of those tags, the stats of the units. They are different than what you can see in normal PvE game. Excuse me. And other updates. So this one, Spartan chests and Spartan large chests price reduced to 10 and 50 Sparta points from 15 and 60. Oh boy, how dare they! They make their chests cheaper, but you won't make the Creed chest cheaper, huh? Well, okay, that's for PvP players mainly. Addressed various naming inconsistencies in the German language version of the game, removed leftover upgrade to premium civilization billboards from several requests. Yeah, so pretty much this one doesn't make sense now because everyone gets those premium civs and pro civs for free, so glad those got removed. And this one is big. Persian Battering Ram Champion upgrade cost reduced to 400 gold from 1000 gold. I personally love this one because when you take a look at the Persian battering ram, just the ram, it's pretty much the same as the Greek battering ram, and the only difference would be with the champion upgrades. For some reason, the Greek battering ram champion upgrade already costs 400 gold. So I was wondering why the Persian cost 1000 gold, and the only difference would be that the Persian champion upgrade would give 25% less damage but would give 25% more movement speed. So I would kind of get it why it would be slightly more expensive, but like straightforward 600 more gold than the Greek one. That did not make sense, to be honest. Some oversight from the original developers. Non-champion mode only. So this is only non-champion mode, obviously PvE, non-champion mode PvP. Lightspeed of Sargon now grants plus 3.3% movement speed from 9.8 calorie bonus damage, since it was a duplicate of Lightspeed of Figurgos. Yeah, pretty much this was the only case where you would have like two different items giving the same stats. So this will be applied to all existing and future copies of this item. I agree that it was applied. The thing was, and it was already hotfix, they instead of light speed of Sargon, they they gave the movement speed to the light armor of Sargon, which is the light armor that gives health and pierce armor. I was like, why? Why? Why is it here? So yeah, it's been already hotfixed, so you don't have to worry. The Sargon now properly gives movement speed and the light armor. It's properly the pierce armor now. And some backend changes, did some tweaks to make the server run smoother if anything else runs on it. Process priority is bumped on server startup. Yeah, sure. Okay, and now we're going for the new advisors. And oh boy, I hope, yeah, okay. Okay, I did switch scenes. Okay, so we got new advisors, and you can see some over here, and we're gonna go through those. And oh boy, there's a lot of them, and some changes as well. So let's go. Greek specific ones. Courageous Colonel Lycurgus. So if you know the Medal of Lycurgus, the legendary conversion resistance, hey, it's the guy that belong to. So effects. Spearmen and hoplites are 30% more resistant to melee cavalry damage. I'm gonna go again only through epic versions. I don't care about the lowers because everyone cares only about the epic ones anyway. And he's Bronze Age advisor. So yeah, I was lucky. I already got him. I tested him. I personally like him a lot on my spearman, and I think he's okay on hoplites, but it can depend what you're doing. So for spearman, I think this is really great for quests where you can train only spearmen. So FSO and Memphis are those two quests where I highly recommend using this advisor for your spearman. And I was pretty much surprised how much armor my spearman had with this advisor. Because, oh boy, that was pretty huge. I think he's pretty good for hoplite's case. If you're using your hoplites as a frontline, obviously it's gonna be great. It can depend how you build your hoplites. So if your hoplites are mainly like a lot of health and almost no damage, this can be pretty bad. If you're focusing only on hoplites, especially as a frontline. As a frontline, it works very nicely, just taking more damage from cavalry. And now it depends. If you're going for ranged units, I would still prefer Guyana over him. If you're going for, and some other players were already doing this, going for Ballista as a back line with Themistocles. I hope I was thinking about Themistocles. I don't remember the names now. Yeah, it's Themistocles. Yeah, the Ballista one. So you can go Themistocles with hoplites as a front line, you can go Lycurgus Bronze Age, you can go Leonidas Silver Age, and you will just have tanky hoplites, and your Ballista will just destroy the infantry, the ranged units, and can help deal with the cavalry as well, but your hoplites are gonna be there mainly for the cavalry. So I think that's one time where it can really work. If you're going for range, Guyana. Always Guyana. So for me, very good advisor. Next one, King Tisamenos. Effect. Hippospis are 30% more resistant to pierce damage and have 30% more health. Silver Age advisor. I don't have this one unfortunately. I was not lucky to even get the rare version at all, so I hope I can get him soon. And personally, I've been going a lot more for Hippospists lately than hoplites. And just, oh boy, 30% health is already good enough. But also hitting Pierce armor. Oh my god. I wanna see those Hippospists. My Hippospists are currently at 1000 HP, so 300 more health. That's huge. And now add the 30% more Pierce armor. Oh boy, that's gonna be huge. Those guys are not gonna die that fast. And also, they do more damage than my hoplites. And pretty much with this one we'll end up with the same amount of health, and now also with PS. I'm like, yes, those guys. I'm gonna completely ignore hoplites and just go Hippospis. Like, who cares about hoplites? I think he's gonna be very good, especially for me. If you like him, you like him. If you don't like him, well, you don't like him. Who cares? I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It's definitely gonna work nicely for me. The thing is, shame I have to sacrifice the movement speed, the civil honors advisor if I have access to siege. If I don't have access to siege, well, I have to sacrifice the buildings bonus damage, which is also a shame. But for the defensive power, I think it's gonna be okay. Okay, next one. We're going for Egyptians. Camel Rider. I don't know how to read this. Userhet. Effect. Camel Riders deal 30% bonus damage to cavalry units and are 30% more resistant to melee cavalry damage. It's a Bronze Age advisor. So I'm glad there's a Camel advisor, and I definitely am looking forward to using this one. And let's see how the camel only Marine is gonna end with this advisor. I can't wait for this one. Yeah, I hope it's gonna be nice. And there are also other advisors, and I definitely wanna try more camels with the new advisors. I definitely am looking forward to camels. This one, General Senep. Effect. Fortresses are 25% more resistant to bonus damage and attack 20% faster. Silver Age advisor. I don't really like this one, to be honest. It looks nice, having resistance to bonus damage, attack faster, but have you seen those Egyptian fortresses? Have you seen them? They are weaker than, let's say, Greek fortress. They have much lower damage. Like my Egyptian fortress has like 80 DPS, and you want to give me 20% attack rate? Like, I don't really care. I don't really care. And for the bonus damage resistance, yeah, they also have lower health. Like, I don't really like him. I think he's okay, but I would not use him. I would not recommend using him. I think there are better advisors, and as we scroll down, we'll see even better advisor than this one. In my opinion, this is pretty bad advisor. I don't see a reason picking him, to be honest. Even like going for some defensive fortresses, like trying to get some high DPS. I don't think that Egyptian fortress can be even better than, let's say, Greek one. I don't think so. I think it's bad advisor. I don't really like him. Okay, moving on. Celts. Grand Magistrate Divi Divisiacus. It's Divisiacus. I don't care. Effect. Sacred Groves spawn a free sacred deer every 15 seconds. Bronze Age advisor. So basically, I had to see for myself, and I saw that if you have multiple sacred groves, it's every sacred grove spawns every 15 seconds a deer. So if you have 2 sacred groves, they'll spawn 2 sacred deers every 15 seconds. And it seems that the cooldown is based on when you build the sacred grove. It does not look that great in my opinion, because you have to build a sacred grove to spawn the deer. There's new advisor about herdables. We'll get to him, and he's gonna work. He can work with this guy, but personally, I don't really like it. Like, you have to build sacred grove to keep spawning the deer. Now, depending on how many villagers you can put on the sacred deer, let's say you can actually. I think you can fully like gather all the food from one sacred deer within like 20 seconds. So you definitely can spawn more deer over time than one villager can gather. Yeah, if you're gonna put more deer or more villagers on the deer, you will need more sacred groves to actually keep the deer coming and keep the villagers working. Now that means I have to build a sacred groves, and one sacred grove costs 150 wood, and that's why I don't like it. I feel like I have to sacrifice advisor and then also pay more wood to get the deer. Whereas I could just get the farms and like not to really worry about it. And one sacred deer is like 15 wood, so yeah, over time it can take me a lot of wood, get me a lot of food. But at the end of the day, I still would rather prefer farms. I think what this advisor should also do is like lower the cost of sacred growth by 50%. Then I would say it makes sense going this one. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go with farms. It just feels it feels cheaper, and like I said, I would need like one sacred grove per villager. So if I want 30 villagers on food, then I would need 30 sacred groves. And obviously 30 farms is gonna end up cheaper, right? Because you always put even the cost reduction gear on your farm. So I think I'm gonna prefer farms over this one. I think if the Project Celeste team really wants this guy, I think what they should add is Sacred Groves cost 50% less wood. And then I think it can work. Otherwise I don't really care about this advisor. So for me right now I would say it is bad. It could be an interesting alternative to like Euphrates where you cannot get farms, but that's about it. I don't really care. Okay, let's move on. King Batanatos. Effect. Walls and guard towers can be upgraded an additional time. Guard towers attack 15% faster. It's a Silver Age advisor. So yeah, this is some kind of defensive advisor for Celts. And models for walls have been added a few months back. I don't really remember. I know they added those. And those are available in champion mode. The guard towers, well, those models were already in the game from way back in the day when the Microsoft were still running the servers. So you can still see in some quests those tower models. Actually, it's like those towers with silver deer atop of them. So overall, this advisor seems really good. If you're going for towers, this is very good. You get the free upgrade, which means 30% more health for your towers, 30% more damage, and also you get the attack rate, which is additional 15%. So I can say 30% more health, 50% more damage, about 50%. So pretty good, very good advisor for towers. Also helps with the walls, and if I'm not mistaken, the walls upgrade always gives 100% more health, unless you're Babylonian. That one has one exception. So doubling the health on your walls is gonna be great. And I wanna see how the walls actually look. I need to take a look at this advisor at some point and show it to you. But definitely the towers are gonna be great here. Is he gonna be that useful? I guess some defensive quests. I don't really care about it that much, but if you are defending a lot early, it can be useful. Quests where you are using towers. I don't really know. I don't really know. I guess he's good. Is he gonna be that useful? Is it gonna be worth sacrificing the other advisors? I don't really know. I guess he's okay. Or rather, he's good, but rather situational. That's how I'm gonna end it with. Let's move on. Crafty, Farrier, Cavarus. Effect, Horseman and Carpentum Strain in 30% less time. Silver Age Advisor. So this advisor, I think he's working well with Commentorius. who also buffs Horsemen and Carpenters. This one is gonna be about buffing the train time, which is definitely gonna help Horsemen a lot. Get your Carpenters out sooner with Commentorius. Hey, you got really powerful army. I definitely like this advisor. I think it can be very useful advisor. If I'm going for pure horsemen or horsemen with carpenters, definitely great advisor. If I'm going for pure carpenters, I would prefer Sohrab still. But definitely, I think this advisor is gonna be definitely used, especially when you're trying Commentorius. So I definitely am looking forward to some quests with Commentorius and Cavalus here. So for me, this definitely looks like a good advisor. And I wonder how he's gonna work out once I get him. Okay, General Akikorios effect. Long swordsmen have 30% more health, and he's a golden age advisor. So I like this one. Like it's different option, and if you're tired of champions and world raiders, let's go long swordsman. I like this one. I definitely wanna see what the long swordsman, how much damage the long swordsman will be able to take. I'm gonna try him and see some more balanced army and how it's gonna work out for me with the long swordsman. Definitely great advisor. Is he gonna be that much picked? I don't really know. I think everyone's still gonna go Wolf Traders or Champions. But now we have also the long swordsman option, so I wanna see what this can do. Definitely good advisor. Okay, Ambiorix the Brave effect. Slingers and bowmen deal 3 times bonus damage when dealing a critical strike instead of 2 times. Golden Age advisor. So pretty much this is about the Celtic bowman, which I'm glad to see something like this, and it actually surprised me because this is very unique advisor, increasing the crit damage. You don't see this one in the game currently, so I hope we can see something similar in the future as well. So right now for the ranged units, this advisor definitely works if you have a lot of crit on your ranged units. And scales, otherwise don't really bother. It's not gonna be that much. Pretty much everyone is gonna use the Divine Torque, which gives almost 50% crit chance, and I think most players use the crit milestone anyway. So at the end of the day, you will end up with like 50% crit chance, bowmen and slingers. So it definitely is gonna be great advisor. And now for like the total damage increase. When I was talking about crit in my previous videos, I said that 1% crit chance is equal to 1% damage increase. But that's when we think about when the crit multiplier is 2 times. Now with the 3 times, it's gonna mean that every crit does additional 200% damage. So instead of having like 1% crit chance being equal to 1% damage on average, it's gonna be now equal to 2% damage increase on average now. So if you already have 50% on your bowman, then the damage increase is gonna go from the total damage is gonna go from 150% to 200%. So overall, we're gonna see about 33% damage increase on bowman with this advisor. So this is pretty huge actually, 33% damage increase on them. Now that's obviously gonna be on average when you're actually applying crits. And also, I'm considering that your bowmen have 50% crit chance. Obviously, the higher the crit chance, the better it's gonna be. I would not go full crit chance build on bowman anyway, so I would not recommend it. But definitely grab the Divine Torque, use these advisors, and your bowman will do a lot of damage now. I wonder how this advisor is gonna work out. Most of the times I don't really care about the ranged units. And one issue I have with this advisor, the bowman have very slow animation, which is kind of annoying. So for them to actually attack, I would prefer having some frontline as a meat shield. And since this is Golden Age Advisor, unfortunately I cannot get the Longswordsman, but Longswordsman should still work pretty nicely. So I definitely want to try some Longswordsman with Bowman with this advisor. So yeah, Bowmen have slow animation. Slingers have low range, but they are a little bit compensated with the high movement speed, so should not be that huge deal. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna prefer the Bowman at the end of the day. So I definitely wonder what this advisor can do, and I'm gonna try him in some quest. I wonder how good he can be. I think he's definitely great. Because like 33% damage increase on ranged units is very huge. How is it gonna work out at the end of the day? I'll see. Okay, let's move on. Persians. Grand Scholar Ormazdiar. Effect. All upgrades research in 60% less time but cost 12% more. Bronze Age Advisor. Well, we can ignore the, what do you call it, Copper Age. We can ignore Copper Age because you get like the first storehouse upgrades. Who cares about those? 60% less time. That's a lot of time. And if I'm not mistaken, this is gonna include also aging up. So faster aging up, getting faster armor attacks, getting faster storehouse tags. Well, storehouse tags don't take that long to research, but it's gonna be there. Champion upgrades, it's gonna be there. I'm a little bit skeptical because it's gonna cost more. So although it's 60% less time, it's gonna get delayed because I'll have to spend more resources on those. So I feel like it's not gonna be 60, but rather something like 45% at the end of the day, which kind of makes me sad. I'll be honest. I wonder if this advisor can be really good. I wanna see how well he can work out, but I don't really think about. I don't really think that I would pick him right now. I wonder how it's gonna work out, but I don't really like him that much. Maybe you like him. I don't really care. He looks nice. He looks nice, but we'll see about him. For now, I think he's bad. Maybe he's better than I think. Maybe he could be more like situational, or maybe even okay. But I don't really care about him. I don't really care about him. Maybe some. Maybe he can be more useful than I think. Let's move on. Royal Treasure Bardia. Effect. Champion upgrades cost 80% less. So that's gonna be mainly gold, obviously. He's a Bronze Age advisor, so yeah, that's pretty much where you start getting those champion upgrades. So once you reach Bronze Age, hey, you can get the Spagabara champion upgrade very cheap. I think if you're going for like only one unit spam, it's not gonna be worth getting because you're not gonna save that much. Because if you're gonna spam only immortals, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of gold from their champion upgrade, but it's gonna be only one. I think this advisor is better if you are going for some kind of balanced army. So I would say like 2-3 units at least. So if you're going immortals, then I would say include also Palintorons. Then you're gonna save so much gold from this guy. Oh my god. I believe immortal upgrade is like 1200 gold, so you're gonna save like over 900 gold with this guy, which is a lot of gold, not gonna lie. I guess even just for the immortals it's gonna be great. I think include include as many units as possible. Otherwise, I think it's just gonna be better to get more gold. Definitely nice advisor. I think this guy can be used pretty nicely. He's gonna have some usage. I wonder how much he's gonna get picked. Yeah, he's not great. I think he's good or okay. I'll I'll see. I don't have him, so I cannot tell. Let's move on. Blacksmith Kavek. Effect: all military units ignore 10% of the enemy's armor. So yeah, so advisor for ignore armor for the Persian units. I kinda like it because it affects all units. So it goes infantry, it goes ranged, it goes siege, and what I found funny, even scout. Not necessarily on scout, but it's funny. Personally, I don't really think you are gonna use him that much on something like excuse me. You're not gonna use him if you're going for something like let's say you're going immortals. You're not gonna use him. You're gonna go as Fandia. You don't really care about him on immortals because immortals have two damage types. So either use the melee damage or use the pierce damage. Either way, there are not many units that would like have armor against both, and if they do, one of those armor types is much lower than the other. So let's use the proper damage against them. So for me, for immortals, definitely not. For cavalry, there are not many units with cavalry armor. Like those units that have cavalry armor are like spearmen. But if you're going cataphracts, who cares about the spearmen? And then there are also horsemen with cavalry armor. And then you can use the mounted archers, and those do a lot of damage to cavalry, not gonna lie. So again, if you're going cavalry, I don't really think Kavek is your advisor. What I think this advisor is gonna be good for is if you're going for mass bowmen. And the main thing about this is gonna be against buildings, against siege, and maybe some other high PS armor units, such as Babylonian shield bearer. I think that's gonna be the main use. If you're going for bowman, mass bowman, this is your advisor in my opinion. And if anything else, like I said, he also affects siege. So in my opinion, if you're going for war wagons, this can be also good advisor. Not saying as good as success, but if you're going for like anti-building war wagons, this can be your choice. But typically, if you have access to siege, you also have access to Paladins, so I don't see a reason why you should take him over. Why you should pick him when you have access to Paladins, just because of building destruction. So for me, Bowman all the way. Otherwise, I don't really care. Let's move on. Bahram, Master of the Trade. Yes, he is here. Effect: if you have a Wonder build, all military units move 20% faster and train in 20% less time. Golden Age Advisor, obviously, because you need the Wonder. Okay, so first of all, you reach Golden Age, you don't have Advisor until you build a Wonder. Wonders cost a lot of resources and also take a while to build. So yeah, there's gonna be a delay before you can actually use these advisors properly. But let's say you have the Wonder. Movement speed is definitely nice. About the train time, I'm a little bit skeptical because you get access as Persian to the toggle tags. And toggle tags lower the train time heavily. So for me, it's a little bit no for this advisor, but I think he can be used. And personally, I wonder how well would he work with the battlegrams, since the champion battlegram is now cheaper, and also there's gonna be advisor lower for rams. I wonder how fast could I get those rams to move. So I think for rams it could be interesting because of the movement speed, and also I typically don't want to turn on the toggle for siege because like, oh my god, siege will be so expensive. It already is expensive. Why would I want it more expensive? Just because of the lower train time. So I think for paragrams this advisor can work pretty nicely. I'm thinking for infantry I don't really care because if I'm going for Sparabara, movement speed is nice, train time is nice, but my Sparabara are so tanky that I'm I don't need to replace them that often. So I don't really care about it. For infantry, immortals, why would I pick him over Esfandiar? I don't see the reason. For ranged units, I would rather not lose my ranged units, and now with Kavek, I would rather pick Kavek over Bahram. So for ranged units, no. War wagons, again I have the Success or Kavek. For Palinterons, Palinterons are not moving that much, and typically I don't replace them that often, so again I don't see a reason for this. What I see a good usage, however, I think he can work very nicely with Cataphracts. Cataphracts are pretty slow for a cavalry unit, even with all the stables upgrades. So 20% movement speed for Cataphracts, in my opinion, can be really huge. And Cataphracts also take a while to train, even with the toggle attack. So with the combination of toggle attack, the train time here can be very useful. So I wonder if I could use Bahram with Cataphracts. I think that's gonna be my number one usage with Cataphracts. I don't have him, so I could not test him. So I wonder how well he's gonna work out. And maybe other players like him more. I'm not really a Persian player, so I don't really care. Okay, but I wanna see him with Karafek. That's gonna be my choice. Okay, moving on. Babylonians. Lady Davcina. Davcina? I don't know. Effect. Shield bearers are 40% resistant to melee infantry, melee cavalry, crush, and splash damage. And she's Bronze Age advisor. So pretty much your shield bearers become so tanky. It's so stupid. Nah, it's not that stupid. 40%. So you could say they have like 40% more health against everything except pierce. And since they already have very high pierce armor, oh boy, I personally like this advisor a lot because it makes shield bearers very tanky, and I would consider them being used something like Sparabaras being used, something like Sparabaras. I think they are trying to turn like shield bearers into better Sparabaras here with this advisor. I like him. I like her, not him, her. I want to see what the shield bearers can tank with this advisor at some point. So I wonder if I can use her and preferably add some backline. So I could try some shield bearer as a front line with, let's say, chariot archers, war chariots as a front line. That can work out pretty nicely. I wonder how she's gonna work out. I think she's gonna be good advisor, maybe even great. I wonder how she's gonna work out. Moving on, Berosus the Wise effect. Ziggurats cost 20% less, train priests, and research upgrades 50% faster. It's a Bronze Age advisor, so the cost is gonna be mainly if you spam more Ziggurats. Otherwise, if you're not going for priests, I don't really care about it. Train priest, if you're not going for priest, again, I don't really care. So this advisor is partially about spamming priests, which I believe a lot of players already does because the Babylonian priests are probably the best priests in the game because they have the lowest conversion rate. They also have better, well, not lowest, but one of the lowest conversion rates. They also have one of the greatest conversion ranges in the game. So they are very powerful on their own. So this can be definitely interesting if you're spamming those priests. What I'm really interested in is the research upgrades 50% faster. And again, this since ziggurats are used to age up as well, this includes aging up. So I wonder if I get this advisor, how fast can we age up to golden age from a bronze age? And don't forget, you also get the gardens as Babylonian, so you can even further speed up the research time. So this can be quite insane advisor, even for spamming the priests. I wonder how fast we can research the Golden Age with all 8 gardens being built. and definitely this going. I think the biggest effect on the 50% faster research is gonna be noticeable on the Bronze Age text. So the conservation on trees and berry bushes, as well as the health regen, and I think even in the Silver Age, which is the wheels and the gardens upgrade. Oh yeah, the gardens upgrade is gonna be huge, I think, and obviously the late game as well. But since you typically have all 8 gardens built there, it's not gonna be that huge effect, but it's gonna be noticeable. So I wonder how it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna be really great if you're going for pre-spam. This is your advisor, definitely great advisor. Getting getting all the research done at the grad is definitely gonna be huge as well. So I definitely think this is gonna be great advisor. How great is he gonna be? I wonder. With all the gardens in late game, he's gonna be, in my opinion, weaker, but still very strong. So I wonder. Let's move on. Engineer Farzana. Oh yeah, the crazy lady. Effect. Siege towers can attack and see 20% faster. Which I wonder, how do you see faster? And farther when using their ranged attack. She's a Silver Age advisor. So yeah, I've been trying the siege towers with Amethyst recently, so you could see that. Personally, I don't get the wording exactly here. If this actually means that they attack faster, and I believe this is supposed to mean to see farther. So if they attack faster with both the melee and ranged attack, then definitely this is another buff for siege towers, which I wonder how this is gonna work out. And to be honest, my siege towers already had over 1000 DPS against buildings, so additional 200. Oh boy, I wonder how well is this gonna work out. If this is only a range attack, which also confuses me a little bit if it's only a ranged attack, then it can be great as well. Would I care about it? Not really. I think that's other better advisor for Siege again, which I would rather pick than her, but if it's 20% more damage or DPS, then yeah, sure, why not? Okay, Macro the Mad Median effect. All military units deal 25% bonus damage against buildings. This is a Golden Age advisor. I'm a little bit unsure if I would pick him at all because most of the times there are other advisors that I would rather pick. Like if I can go with Siege Towers now, I feel like Amethyst is very powerful advisor. If I if not her, then I can definitely go for Nebuchadnezzar, which gives only 15% to my lancers, but because it's damage, that means against everything. Same for mounted archers. Or I could go with chariot archers or war chariots, and I would get 30% attack rate, which is obviously more than 25% damage against buildings. So for me, the stable units are kinda meh with these advisors, the siege tower as well. I guess with Palintonos this can work out pretty nicely actually. If you are going for lancers and Palintonons, then I guess with Palintonons this advisor can work very nicely. I completely forgot about the Palintonons to be honest. So I guess with Palintonons this can work pretty nicely. Anything else? And I guess infantry is there. I would not really use the spearmen for this. I would not definitely not use the shield bearers for this. So it leaves the sappers and loyal guards. Royal guards. Using macro instead of General Zoo just does not feel good in my opinion. Like losing the toughness the Royal Guard have with General Zoo, also making them cheaper. Like yeah, if you're going for Royal Guard, I don't think it's a good idea not picking General Zoo as Golden Age advisor, to be honest. So I don't think it's gonna work with Royal Guards. And Sappers, that can be questionable. Because what the Sapper advisor will see it lower. Actually has been moved to Golden Age, so now it's like Macro versus Zopyrus or whatever his name is pronounced. So I'm not really sure about Cyprus. I kind of like Zopyrus. Zopyrus. I'm gonna call him Zopyrus. Feels more natural to me. I think I would prefer Zopyrus. So for me, Makru is good if you're going for Palintrons. Everything else is, in my opinion, questionable. So Palintrons, otherwise I would not really care about him. Let's move on. Norse. Senior Architect Audun. Effect: Longhouses generate 1 wood every second and have 25% more health. Bronze Age Advisor. 1 wood per longhouse. That's a lot of wood. And I'll be honest, I thought already of combination Audun with H1 Valen, where you would just build all the longhouses and just start generating all the wood you need. I mean, Norse get up to 12 longhouses, so that means 12 wood a second. That's a lot of wood. So in a minute, how much can you get? So 60 times, that's 720 wood per minute. That's not a small amount of wood actually. That's a lot of wood. I wonder how well this can work actually. The health, who cares about the health here? You don't really want to lose your longhouses anyway, so you don't really care about them having health. You don't really want to lose them anyway. So the wood is definitely gonna be huge addition. So I wonder how well this can work out. And I definitely see great synergy with Valen. Getting all the longhouses, getting all the wood you need. You can focus your villagers on food, you can focus your villagers on gold, stone. You're gonna get so much wood. It's so insane. Like, such a huge passive income is incredible. 720 wood. Yeah, damn. What can you do? I think this is a great advisor, in my opinion. I don't have him, unfortunately, only rare version, so I wonder if I can get him. I wanna see how great he's gonna be. Let's move on. Bear Hunter Thorhild. Yeah, Thorhild. Effect: Skirmishers and bowmen have 30% more health and move 15% faster. She's a Silver Age advisor. So personally, I like that they gave advisor for the ranged units that give health, because I think for the Norse it's much more fitting to have high HP units, and their ranged units are actually having more health than most of the other civs. Like, have you seen the bowman? One bowman has 150 health base, so that's already pretty huge for a ranged unit. And like the Babylonian has 90 health, so that's a pretty big comparison there. Okay, so for me, keeping the theme of having high HP fits very nicely. The movement speed definitely useful. I like movement speed on ranged units. It somewhat replaces like the maximum range because you can get closer to your target faster, and I like it. I definitely goes well together. You have to get close enough, attack the target, you put them to danger. Because you have more health, they have higher chance of survival. So I definitely like the synergy. The thing is, I'm not really gonna use skirmishers because skirmishers, oh my god, they have no damage. And for bowman, I think that with bowman this can work very nicely. This can work very nicely, especially once you get the champion upgrade. For snare, the movement speed is gonna keep them safe from melee units. So definitely great synergy with the bowman. I like it with bowman. So if you're going for bowman, definitely great advisor. For skirmishers, I don't really care. I don't really care. So for me, it's okay advisor. Okay, Grand Chef Bjorn. Effect, Spearman and Throwing Axeman have 25% more health. It's a Golden Age advisor. So again, I like the team of high HP. I like it definitely on Spearman. On Throwing Axeman, I like it. Not 100%, but I like it because they have low range, so they still are gonna be in danger. And this definitely goes well if we include also Chief, so we can have some high HP Spearman. The thing I see about this one being issue is those two units. You need both units. Spearmen are definitely gonna be great against cavalry, but against everything else, they're gonna be terrible. Throwing axemen are gonna be great against infantry. They're gonna be okay against ranged units, but against everything else, yeah, not really great. I wonder if you could combine these two and go something like spearmen with bowmen being having chief buffing their health as well, and maybe include like log throwers to deal with the ranged units as well as the enemy buildings. I wonder how well that can work. So these two together, in my opinion, go well to get some balanced army. I wonder how well would this work out. So yeah, I definitely like this advisor. I think he's good. Is he gonna be great? I don't really know. If you're tired of berserkers and horsemen, yeah, this can be your advisor to try. Okay, Shield Maiden Ingrid, and I wish I had her sooner. Effect: Raiders regenerate 3 health every second and gain a 10% chance to deal a critical strike. She's a Golden Age advisor. I definitely wish I had her sooner when I was doing the Raider only legendary quest. God dang it, I would love her. Like 3 health regen, yeah, that's okay. I don't really care. The 10% crit chance, yeah, I like that. I want that. I think she can be really good advisors. I already showed that Raiders can be good units, and with these advisors, I think this removes the need of Agamemnon. So I definitely would love to use her during my rounds with Raiders. Okay, now we're going to Romans. The thing is, Romans are not out yet, so I cannot judge these advisors how strong can they be. But let's see. Okay, supply line specialist Servilia. Effect: Milariums also increase villagers and caravans movement speed by 10%. Bronze Age advisor. I'll be honest, I don't really like her. I feel like for villagers, I don't really care about it. Maybe it's good. I don't know. But I don't really care. I don't really care. Milariums, if you don't know what Milarium is, it's a building that Roman engineers can build, and it's gonna increase. It's gonna have an aura that increases movement speed of nearby military units. So with this one, you will buff your eco units as well. The thing is, for villages, I don't really care about it, and for caravans, why would I do it for caravans when I can go Doom Nordics, to be honest? Which I think would be even better because I can afford my caravan sooner, gonna save some food and wood, and then I passively have 8% movement speed constantly. So for me, this is a bad advisor in my opinion, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, I don't have access to Romans yet, so I cannot judge. Lucius Licinius Lucullus. God, who gave you such a name? Like, what the hell? Effect: Echoes have 20% more health. Silver Age advisor. Echoes is Castellum cavalry unit. If you don't know what Castellum is, it's Roman equivalent to barracks. So 20% more health on cavalry unit. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of health. I believe that. Since Roman units are gonna be expensive, but also gonna be powerful, I believe this is gonna be a lot of health. So I wonder how well this is gonna work out for them. I think it's gonna be great advisor. Siege Engineer Vitruvius. Effect: Scorpius and Onagers can attack and see 20% farther. Golden Age advisors. Scorpios is a ranged siege which you get access to in Silver Age. Onager is Roman equivalent to catapult or ballista. So yeah, Scorpios, through what I know, they should not have that huge range. But for Onagers having 20% more range, yeah, that always sounds broken. I'm not I'm not really gonna judge this guy. I wanna speed this up a little bit. So definitely great advisor if you're going for siege, and Romans will have great siege. So definitely strong advisor. Okay, Admiral Atilius effect Eneris' attack 25% faster, Golden Age advisor. Eneris is gonna be Roman ship. I believe it's supposed to be some kind of equivalent to fire ship, which is gonna be mixed with the ranged siege boat, like is the ballista trident for Greeks or catapult trident for Egyptians. So it's gonna, but you will need champion upgrade to get the ranged attack against buildings. Otherwise, it should be something like fire ship, I guess. So pretty much this advisor is like slightly stronger version of Triforn, who affects all the naval units. So if I'm gonna use Eneris only, then I guess this is gonna be great. Other than that, I don't see a reason why should I pick this advisor over Triforn, to be honest. If I'm gonna go multiple naval units, not only Eneris. But yeah, I wonder how this one is gonna work out. Okay, and Global Advisor, a new one. So yeah, this one is about the herdables, like I mentioned with Celts. Good Shepherd Shahryar. Effect. Sheep can be trained at the town center every 3 seconds. Villagers gather food 25% faster from herdable animals and have 25% conservation. Cooperate advisor. So yeah. So yeah, the faster gathering from herdables is definitely great, but it's still not gonna be as good as from huntables. That's a thing, so beware of that. Huntables are still gonna be the best food source for villagers, and the conservation is definitely nice. It's definitely gonna be nice. So about the sheep, one sheep costs 20 food. It takes 3 seconds train time. I don't know if it gets affected by the train rate gear or anything. I haven't noticed like any difference there, so it's hard to tell. It's 3 seconds. Come, it's so short anyway. So 20 food per sheep, and one sheep you can gather up to 100 food. So you pay 20 food to get additional to get 100 food back. So overall 80 food. But don't forget, you also get the conservation, so it's gonna be even more. So you pretty much get 100 food out of each sheep. Like that. The thing I kinda hate about this is that you have to sacrifice the town center train time. So 3 seconds, that's about, if I take the base train time, that's gonna be a fifth of a villager being spent on sheep, which it's kind of meh, to be honest. But you'll invest some food and you'll get much more back. So yeah, put there 20, you'll get 100 back. Or rather, you invest 20 food to get it back plus additional 100 food. That's how it's gonna work. So I like it that it's like how you can like increase the amount of food you have. I hated that you had to spend the train time, the town center work time. And also there's a limit of how many sheep you can have out at a time. There's you can have up to 20 sheep. So yeah, you're limited on that as well. So you can do go like, oh, you might actually go like 30 villagers and gather all the food from the sheep. Who knows how it's gonna work out. I think he's okay. Advisor, would I really pick him? Not really. Unless we're talking about Celts, who also get the Sacred Deer. And Sacred Deer costs 15 wood, and you get 250 food. With the conservation, it's obviously gonna be over 300 food, which is a lot. And with the new advisors spawning the Sacred Deer, you can get a lot of food from herdables. It might be even a replacement to farms. Would I use it? Not really. Like I said, the Sacred Groves cost a lot of wood. That it's, in my opinion, better to just go farms because it's gonna end up cheaper than the Sacred Groves. I think that advisor needs the Sacred Grove, needs to lower the cost of Sacred Groves by 50% to actually make it worth, in my opinion. Otherwise, I don't really care about this. Okay, and two additional advisors. Siege, Tactician, Titus. Effect, battering rams, siege towers, ramps, and harpy orders have 20% more health and move 20% faster. It's a Silver Age advisor. So there's the battering ram advisor I talk about with Farzana. So this is the advisor I would pick over Farzana in my opinion. It's much more useful to have 20% more health on siege towers because siege towers naturally have a lot of health. Works really nicely, and I also love the movement speed. And again, I was talking about this when I was at the Bahram advisor. I wonder how fast the Persian battering rams can move with Bahram and this advisor. So for me, definitely looks like a great advisor. And yeah, I want to use the Rams more often. My issue with that is those Rams cost a lot of resources. If I ignore the Babylonian siege tower, every other Ram just costs a lot. Have you seen the cost of the Greek Ram? That's just insane. With this advisor, it does not feel that bad. I wonder how often is this advisor gonna get picked. I think he's gonna be great. It's just the Rams are not gonna be how often the Rams are gonna be used. It depends on the quest. I would not use him in, let's say, one of Earth quests, but let's say something like more medians. This can be just nice advisor. Let's move on to the last new advisor, Horse Whisperer Lohrasp. Effect, cavalry units are 25% more resistant to melee infantry damage. Village advisor. Yeah, one of the biggest weaknesses to cavalry are the enemy spearmen. So having infantry armor against them is definitely gonna be great, and I think this is gonna be probably the best cavalry advisor in Silver Age, in my opinion, with maybe a few quests as an exception where they don't get that many infantry units. So yeah, definitely if they get infantry, this is gonna be probably the best. I definitely can use this advisor with, let's say, elephants, let's say camels, maybe hippicons or even prodromos, lancers, cataphracts. I think this is gonna be one of the best advisors in the game for cavalry. It does not seem to be that much, but it's gonna help a lot. 25%. It's just gonna be great. So I definitely am looking forward to start using this advisor once I get him, at least on one of my sims. Definitely gonna be great. Okay, so that's all the new advisors. There's also a chart here which shows that pretty much all the civs should have the same amount of advisors if we exclude the advisor units, obviously. So every civ has two civ specific advisors in Bronze Age, two civ specific in Silver Age, and then a lot of them in Golden Age. So you have three in Golden Age plus three legendary advisors. We got the two new Silver Age advisor and one new Copper Age advisor. So here you can see all the advisors in the game. It's a lot of advisors, yeah. But guess what? This is not everything. We got some reworks here as well. And oh boy, that's gonna be some. So, World Leader Reworks. New effect. Hardjars are able to poison enemy units on attack, dealing 90 additional damage over 4 seconds. Where the old effect was about the skirmishers and bowmen. Yeah, I did not like this one. Like, even then, those skirmishers were not really great, and bowmen, I'm not really going that often for bowmen, and pretty much, I think it's better to just go something like Vemundra and have like really great frontline with the war dogs or something like that. So this is about hotjars now, and this effect is currently a little bit bugged, and it's been already a little bit hot fixed, but it's still broken. So currently the numbers have been changed, and now it's 50 damage over 2 seconds, which is slightly better. The thing about the damage over time is that it completely ignores armor, so it doesn't matter what you're fighting, they'll always take 50 damage over 2 seconds, which is a nice thing. The thing is that, yeah, it's a little bit buggy with hardjar attack damage. So before it's been hotfixed, hardjars, and I've noticed it, and oh boy, I was so sad. I was wondering why my hardjars are doing like no damage. It's because for some reason the poison damage, like when you had the BRX active, hardjars were doing literally no damage. Like they would attack, they would apply the poison, but then every other attack would just do no damage. They wouldn't do damage at all. This has been hotfixed, and now they are doing damage. And oh boy, I didn't mention when you have like multiple houses like in the same unit, and the unit is just taking no damage. You're like, what? No way. And yeah, so that was an issue. Now it's, in my opinion, working properly. Although I think it's working properly now. Like I definitely noticed that the difference is huge. But I've done some testing, and currently there's a bug, and hopefully it will get hotfixed soon. I've done some testing, and pretty much right now it doesn't matter what your armory upgrades are. And for some reason, even if you don't have armory upgrades at all and you have the full damage upgrades, it doesn't matter. The hardware will always do the same amount of damage. I've done the testing. I will upload a video. It will be unlisted, so I'll put a link somewhere, hopefully in the card up in the corner. Hopefully it will pop out now in the video. So if you want to take a look, yeah, pretty much I've done it. No upgrades, full upgrades on damage, and the same amount of damage was there. So pretty much currently, yeah, not really worth picking Biotics when it's bugged. Hopefully it will get hotfixed as soon as possible. And yeah, so in my opinion, this can be a very powerful buff. In my opinion, this is very powerful buff, especially if we are talking about units with a lot of armor, so something like Celtic Champion, Norse Hardjars, Longswordsman. Yeah, that kind of stuff, that can hurt. That can hurt, since we are ignoring the armor. The thing that is kind of bad is that it does not stack, so if you have multiple units attacking the same target, they will just keep reapplying the poison. So it's good against high armor, but it's useful against everything. That's how I'm gonna say it. It's useful against everything, especially high armor. And also, poison can cause some kind of chaos effect. So when the enemy units take damage over time, they'll start just going around the battlefield randomly. So careful with that. Yeah, I like it, but also in some way I don't like it. But I hope it will get fixed, and I'll see the full potential of this upgrade. Let's move on. Horse Lord Finulfer. There's nothing to say. Pretty much that he's got nerfed, and he now deals 35% bonus damage against buildings instead of 50%. So yeah, it's been nerfed, and I agree with this. I think he's been too great, especially at demolishing buildings with those horsemen. Just that was huge. So I'm glad this has been nerfed. There's nothing else to say. He's still great. He's still great in my opinion. At least he's not super overpowered now. So I hope this works out. Now, Amulet Wise. New effect. Priestesses of Ra can empower at a 20% faster rate and heal 50% farther. Versus old effect, all upgrades cost 50% less gold. Still Bronze Age. So yeah. At first I was wondering what does it mean? Empower at faster rate. What did it mean? And also this was 100%. So this is gonna be just for the record. When it was at 100%, and I could not believe I saw something like that. Basically, I'm gonna consider a situation without her. I would have villager, let's say, gather food from berry bush. They would drop it at the town center, being empowered by Priestess of Ra. They would drop 14 food. That seems fine. And with Amulet Device, with 100%, I was wondering how it was supposed to work. I was hoping that it would be something like 16 food, like that it doubles the effect, the empower buff. But that was not the case. It actually doubled the total amount of resources dropped. So instead of 14, the villager was dropping 28. And you can imagine, that's so. I don't want to be vulgar here. But it was huge. Bigger than elephant. Just, oh boy. I couldn't believe my eyes. Another thing, and that was the first thing I noticed, the villager train time. It went from 16 to 7 seconds. I was like, no, no, no. That's so broken. So, what I think happened, and it might still be the case, that's why it's at 20%, is that they actually did not increase, like, they did not increase the only the empower buff, but like the total buff. So let's say the town center has some drop off rate of like 100%, and with Priestess of Ra, the Pharaoh scepter it goes up to like 20%, so it would be like 1.2. And with this advisor, it would just double this total number. Instead of like increasing the 20% up to 40%, it would just take the 1.2, increasing it to 2.4. That's what I think how it worked, and I still think that's how it works. But back to the advisor. So it's 20%. So now instead of the 14, I'm getting 16, which I guess is working as it's supposed to. Maybe it's still doing the, like I said, like the total. And I'll be honest, this advisor is probably the most broken advisor in the game. Still, before, yeah, that was some. There was some elephant in the house. But I still think this is the biggest advisor. 20% empower rate. That's not only about resources, that's the training time for your villagers. You can spawn villagers. So this advisor literally replaces, let's say, something like Village Elder. It definitely beats Todd, Muikmeron. Who else is there? You can beat all the wood advisors because you get so much wood. And what else is there? I think the build types as well, because you can use the Priestess of Ra to empower the construction and build the buildings faster. So not only that, you can also age up faster. Like the Priestess of Ra, in my opinion, is one of the greatest units, and especially that it belongs to Egyptian, makes Egyptian very powerful Sith. The Priestess of Ra is a very powerful unit, and players just need to utilize the priestesses more often. It's not only about town centers. Literally, you can just use it on storehouses. You can use it on the temples to build up faster. You can use it on your fortresses to spawn elephants faster. I think the 20% is just too much, and it should be lowered. I would say even down to 15%. It should be half of this number. The heal range, I don't really care. Just means, hey, my priestesses are safer, which is nice. But yeah, I think this is like really huge. It beats every other advisor out of the game. Like if you're Egyptian and you have amulet device, yeah, you don't really care about the other advisors. This is your advisor. You always pick this one because it's so stupidly broken. That's why I don't want to pick her, because she's stupidly broken. It's all the resources: food, wood, gold, stone, time. Like, oh my god, too powerful. Seriously, too powerful advisor. Needs some nerf, down to 10% in my opinion. And yeah, players need to utilize the priestesses of Ra more often, because this, if you have amulet device, utilize the priestess of Ra. This is a good time to like practice utilizing the priestesses of Ra. Like priestess of Ra is a great unit. You should use it as much as possible. The only thing about them being bad is long train time, which you can use priestess of Ra to buff the temple of Ra and spawn the priestesses faster. That's one way you can use them. Or you can build more temples with the additional resources you can afford it now. Yeah, just try using the priestesses. Their cost also is another issue. 100 gold each. Yeah, that's a lot of gold. But with this, you get a lot of gold. So yeah, if you have amulet device, start using the priestess of Ra. Seriously, try it. Okay, we move on. Princess Tahmineh. So she has the old effect. Caravans carry more gold, which is the capacity they can carry, not how much they trade for. And coinage and price adjusting upgrades are granted for free, which are the markets which improves the rates at which you're selling, buying other resources. So yeah, I did some testing. Pretty much if you start in Silver Age, you already get access to these. You don't have to research them, you just have them unlocked. And yeah, if you are in Bronze Age, you get the Coin Age, and then you reach the Silver Age and you have Tahmineh, you get the price adjusting. And yeah, you pretty much wasted your resources on Coin Age. You will not get anything from Coin Age. Pretty much, once you reach Silver Age, those techs will get researched, and you don't have to research them. There's and if you think like I will research the Coin Age and then reach Silver Age, then I'll get the better ratios. No, that's not how it works. You literally just unlock the techs. So definitely better advisor. Still kind of meh because these two techs are not that expensive, but you definitely do save some time from the research, so you can just spam caravans as much as you like. Definitely gonna be useful in co-op again because the character capacity is gonna be more noticeable there. Is she gonna be great? I don't think so. Eh, like these two techs are not that expensive, so I don't see it. But it can be useful if you have a lot of resources and you just go spam the caravans and you just sell the stone to get the food wood. This is your advisor. Just go Silver Age and start buying. Okay, Governor Zopirus. Move to Golden Age. So this is the Sapper advisor, like I mentioned with Makru as a competition. Yeah, if you're going for Sappers, I like them. I like this advisor because it's PS armor for Sappers, and guess what? You're gonna destroy buildings. There are gonna be towers, fortresses. PS armor is gonna be used for that. Plus you get movement speed as well. Again, you can reach the towers and the towers won't attack you. So definitely great advisor for Sappers. Would I say I would necessarily pick him? If I'm going purely Sappers, yeah, he's great, but most of the time you don't really want to go Sappers only. Most likely you will go, and it's gonna be even better to just go something like Royal Guard, right? So I think it's gonna be better to pick something like General Zhu, King Nebuchadnezzar, or other advisors depending on what you're doing. And Sappers are more like an addition if you don't have access to siege to demolish buildings. So for me, it's a nice change because now you don't have to decide between him and Pamphilos for Sappers. Would I say it's a great advisor? Yeah, is it a great choice? Depends. So he's okay, but he's not the one I would have to pick. Okay, Senator Octavius, I'm not really gonna go deep into this. Basically, lower cost and train time for Auxilia camp. Instead, the difference is that the cost has been lowered and the units don't do the additional damage. And also, he's been moved to Bronze Age. The thing about Auxiliary Camp is you get the two ranged units the Romans get, and also the Gallic Horseman, which is going to be a powerful cavalry unit. So the cost here is going to be huge. And yeah, the lower you'll see that it's going to be better version of Demon, in my opinion, which I don't really care about, but then it's gonna include like Hermolaus. So definitely it's gonna be great advisor. The thing about this is that the auxiliary camp, unless it's been changed and I don't know about it, the auxiliary camp upgrades like you have in barracks for conscription and the train time upgrades and such, yeah, and similar. So for auxiliary camp it's about cost of those units. So already like when you are in Bronze Age, this is gonna be huge, but once you start getting those tags, I wonder how low it can go without this advisor. So gonna be great in Bronze Age. Later, it can depend. I don't know how expensive those units are gonna be, or if it has been changed or anything. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good advisor. How good? I don't really know. It's on the next. Okay, so Infantry Sergeant Heraclides, Archer Sergeant Timon, and Cavalry Sergeant Hermolaus. Pretty much the same effect. Instead of train time, they now lower cost for the specific unit type. So Infantry, Ranged, Cavalry. So number one, I like this a lot. I like this effect a lot because I feel like with the last changes to like Thought, is it Thought? Yeah, Thought who like lowers the cost of every unit or only food cost of every unit by 15% and also lowers the train time by 5%. In my opinion, that's like the one advisor that kind of overshadowed these because I can save resources plus get some train time as well, and it's on every single unit. Similarly, Muikmeron for gold cost, which was actually 20%. So these guys were overshadowed there. So I'm glad they got this kind of change. What I feel like is bad is how big this change is because now I feel like that I don't really care about like thought because like if I'm going purely infantry anyways, then I would just pick Heraclides and save both food and gold on my infantry and in some cases even wood. Timon, I don't really care about Timon because if you're like if you need cheaper ranged, unless you're going a lot of range, I don't think you need it, and most likely you're still gonna pick Guyana. And if you're replacing your range, you're doing something wrong, to be honest. So I don't like Timon. And Hermolaus, definitely great advisor, definitely can be useful. So again, food, gold, saved. Yeah, these two advisors, I don't care about Timon. I think Timon is still pretty bad. Not because that she would be bad, but because you don't really need her. So these two definitely great advisors right now. I think it's been overpowered because now they overshadow Todd and Muikmeron. Like right now I don't even see a reason to pick Muikmeron. Why would I go Muikmeron? If I'm going pure infantry anyway, then I can go just Heraclides and save food and gold. If I'm going in cavalry again, I can save food and gold. So for me, this change to this advisor overshadow movement. Thought, I still think thought can be useful because you can use the food cost on villagers and also the lower train time for villagers. So for me, I think thought is still good choice anyways. So it depends. I think Heraclitus definitely is gonna be useful on cities such as Norse because I think Berserkers are very expensive units. So the infantry unit cost there is gonna be great. And I don't really care about Munkmetal to be honest. I don't really want Munkmetal. I think Heraclitus is gonna be much better choice here. And yeah, similarly it could be Persians for immortals where you save food, wood, and gold on those immortals. So for me again Heraclitus is definitely gonna be better choice. I think Munkmetal just got overshadowed with this change. And similar for Hemulaus. So I like the change, but it overshadowed Munkmetal too much. I would lower this to down to 15% to be honest. If they wanna like add something, yeah, you can just add like a little bit of train time, a little bit. I think this is too much. 20% is just too much. Let's move on. Chieftain Commodities. He's got buffed from 12% to 20% less wood cost on buildings. That's a lot of wood saved here. I think people would not just pick him because, god damn, you got like other advisors giving much bigger discounts. Just recently, the Nanos advisor has been used a lot because building a lot of markets. You just build 4 markets. It would just cost you like 1 market, right? So you save a lot of wood there and then just spam the caravans. You could go Agape, although not many people go for the advisor because farms typically end up cheap because of all the gear. So yeah, I think Nanos. This one is just about like make him compete better with the other advisors in my opinion. I think he's a very good advisor. Just the other advisors are much stronger. So I like this change, trying to compete with the others. Commander Verkas Civilanos, he's got buffed, movement speed increased to 15%. Yeah, I like this advisor, especially if I have something like if I have access to siege. So let's say I'm playing Greeks, I have access to ballistas. Then yeah, I like this advisor just to replace my infantry units faster. So I like this. The thing is that for Greeks now I have like other choices as well. So it's hard for me to decide which advisor would I choose prefer. I like the movement speed. It's pretty huge. And if not Greeks, I wonder what other cities could this use. That's what I am afraid of. Like what other cities can now use it? Like you got now the Paspis advisor, you got Leonidas for Greeks, for Egyptians. Well, you already had the sandal maker, so I don't really. Why would I pick him when I can go sandal maker and increase the movement speed of my priestess, of my priest as well? For Celts, yeah, typically you go pure infantry, so you don't care about this. Norse, similar thing, pure infantry, you go Pamphilos. For Babylonians, that can depend. I guess for Babylonians, but then again, it matters. Don't you really want to pick Pamphilos instead? Uh, I really want to use him. I really want to use him, but question is it gonna be worth? I guess as Babylonians, I can still use Cyphers, but if I Pamphilos, moving the bonus damage against buildings can be kind of bad. So I better have access to Palintrons if anything. He's good, but he's getting overshadowed by the others in my opinion. Okay, Chieftain Britomatus, pretty much he got additional effect. He now lowers the cost of town centers. Yeah, up to this point, he's been mainly defensive advisor for town centers. Now with the cost, you should be able to afford town centers. I liked him before. I think this effect is just gonna make him better. So in my opinion, he's gonna be great. And yeah, I definitely should start picking him more often again. In some quests, I like him a lot. So I wonder how great the cost reduction can be. Engineer Ligea, he's been changed a little bit. So instead of 30%, the train time has been lowered to 20%, but now also lowers the cost of siege units by 20%. The thing is that Ligea affects all siege units, so palintrons, ballistas, catapults, rams, siege towers, everything. unlike the new battering ram advisor who increases health and movement speed. So if you're going for siege, you might also consider Legaia in Silver Age, but if you're going for rams, only, then it can depend, and I would rather prefer the battering ram advisor because health is a nice thing, and the movement speed is gonna definitely help a lot to battering rams, and it's gonna be better than just the cost and train down. But if you're gonna go for other siege as well, then I suppose Legaia is gonna be better. Or if you're going for pure ballista, yeah, cheaper ballista is gonna be really nice. So for me, Legaia, before it was bad. Now I think Legaia can be a really great advisor. I wonder. Okay, fence builder best. Pretty much, he just took over Siric's effect. It just did not make sense. Those two advisors are about walls. Not many players pick these two advisors anyway. And one thing that I really disliked was how incomparable are those two effects, because I feel like if you have Bass, you could build 3 times as many walls for the same amount of resources. Whereas with Cyric you just get 20% health. So if you had Bass, you could have 300% health in total. With Cyric you would just have 20%. So I like they combine it, and that Bass has the cost reduction, reduced build time, as well as increased health. I like it a lot. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get picked that often, but I definitely would start considering some walls in Quest, so why not? And Engineer Silic now has a new effect, Villagers and Engineers, which is for Romans, repair at a 25% faster rate. Now, for this, I don't know how often do you repair, so it can be good, but it does not have to get used at all. So for me, it's kind of meh. Okay, but because it's a repair rate, we could also consider siege, and I was doing the villager and siege towers as Babylonians, so I could see this advisor being used as Babylonians, loading the siege towers with villagers, unloading them to repair them faster, and get the effect. Yeah, I could see that. So for me, this is rather situational advisor. Other than that, I don't think he's gonna get picked much. Now we're going to the Castle Builder Sostrate, and this is why I think the new Egyptian advisor for fortresses is pretty bad. When you get the advisor like this, new effect: fortress is built in 35% less time, which is the same as before, and costs 15% less. Now the cost has been with Commander Borgias, so now it's been moved to Sostrate. Sostrate is now purely about fortresses, getting as many fortresses as possible, plus building them faster. I think this advisor is definitely gonna be great for Egyptians because you can build a lot of fortresses, not for defensive purpose, but rather for the elephants. So I think before I would not pick Sostrate really, because I would rather have the cost. This fortress costs quite a lot of resources. So now Sostrate, if I'm going for a lot of fortresses, yeah, Sostrate is gonna be a great choice. I like this change a lot, so I think it's gonna be great, especially for Egyptian. For others, it can depend. It could be okay on someone like Celts if you're going for the Rams, Norse if you're going for Farbeovers with the new one. The thing is, it's a Silver Age advisor. That kind of makes it meh because you cannot use the veteran Graham advisor. Why would I then go? Why would I go start on the other steps? Yeah, for Egyptians, I can see this advisor being very useful. For the others, I guess not. Okay, Commander Borgios, he's got new effect. Guard towers built in 35% less time and cost. So pretty much the same effect as Sostrate, but for towers. So I like this change. And yeah, if we're going for some tower quest, yeah, this is gonna be great advisor. Yeah, don't let Bahram get embalmed. That's gonna be the quest where this is gonna be very useful. If you're gonna build a lot of towers, Bolgius is gonna be a really great addition. The only exception would be the Chaos because they get the new advisor for the additional upgrade for towers plus the attack rate. So it depends. Do you want more towers or do you want stronger towers as scouts? That's up to you. I think this is a huge change. If you're going for a lot of towers, great advisor right here. Okay, and they put here some recommended advisor loadouts. Let's take a look at these. So pretty much this is what I said with the Kurgos, that you would go like hot plates with ballista as the backline. I think this is a great loadout. This can work. First stage, it's up to you. These two advisors work really nicely if you're going for hot plates. Cavalry armor definitely gonna help against cavalry. More health, help them survive. Ballista, obviously, your backline. The next one is battering rams with Gastra Fetes support, as it says here. I was actually testing before, trying to go for battering rams as a unit that would soak damage and destroy buildings while having Gastra Fetes killing the unit. I was trying it. It didn't. It was not bad, but it was not great either. So I definitely hope that Titus can help this a lot. So I might consider trying this again and see how this works. This is definitely a great loadout. You're definitely gonna need a lot of wood if you're going ranged and siege. Guyana definitely helps your ranged units. Ptolemais can depend on which quest you're doing. Instead, you might rather consider Agamemnon or even Alexander if you would rather go Toxotai. And Titus definitely for battering rams definitely would be my #1 choice here. So I think this can work. It's not gonna be great, but it's definitely gonna work in some way. Okay, for Egyptians, yeah, this is definitely gonna work out. But instead of Senep, I would use Sostrate. And obviously, you're gonna spend a lot of elephants, save the food on elephants, but a lot of fortresses, yes, save a lot of time. So you can build fortress in like a minute or something like that with all the gear and advisors here. Okay, this is about the camels and chariots, and this is definitely something I would try. Making camels better against cavalry, making them better against infantry by taking more damage, and having some chariot archers as a support against infantry. So definitely I wanna try this build now in some quests. It's not gonna be great because I know camels are not gonna be the best units, but it's definitely gonna do something. I might consider adding some, I don't know, maybe catapults for this destruction, or maybe elephants since we already get this advisor for infantry armor. Oh, got a little bit confused with the text here. Yeah, I definitely would consider adding few elephants just to deal with the buildings. This one is about the herdables. Like I said, I think to make this work, I would rather see this advisor adding the Sacred Grove discount by 50%, in my opinion. Then I would see this combination being great. These two obviously gonna work great together if you're going both horsemen and carpenters. Definitely great choices here. This one is the pure bowman. They say with druid support, I don't really know if I would agree with this. I would rather have some meat shield. Probably long swordsman would work the best and support them with druid stats in my opinion how it would work. Definitely I'm gonna take a look at this build and see how well the crit is gonna work. This one, yeah, this one you say most versatile army you can imagine. I don't know, this one is about battering rams, ain't it? Yeah, definitely have cheap upgrades. If you're going for more than one unit type, this is definitely gonna be great advisor. Bahram again, he's gonna help you with all the advisors. Shame you have to build a wonder, but once you get it, he'll army is gonna be so mobile army. This can work. I don't really know about it, but this can probably work. This one, some war wagons, raining death on enemies. I don't know what this is. Ligea plus success, obviously going for war wagons. This can work really nicely. You could also add some battering rams or polytons thanks to Ligea. This, I mean, if I'm going for war wagons, it's gonna cost a lot of gold to get them upgraded. So I don't know about this, but okay. I like these two. Definitely goes well together. This one is about the siege towers. I don't really care about Kratos here. I would rather have something else, like the repair rate for my villagers, so I can repair the siege towers, or maybe Andrasta for faster siege towers. And instead of Farzana, I would still kind of prefer the other battering ram, Titus. Yeah, Titus instead. But yeah, Farzana can work as well. The other one, this one is about the Cypress. I tried this. This actually works pretty nicely. Don't know why Computus is here. I guess he can work pretty nicely as well for cheaper buildings. But definitely this is working well. Uh, Woodsman Veiling plus Odin, like I said, get your house long houses built as soon as possible. Get a lot of wood. 720 wood per minute is just a lot of wood, okay? So you're gonna afford a lot of stuff. And since it's per minute, you know, I'm thinking that you might not even need like woodcutters at all at that point. And obviously these two about hard jars. Until Reworks is fixed, I don't really think that it's great. It's it needs to get fixed. Like the armor text missing. Again, if you wanna see me testing the damage from armor text, yeah, I'm click the card. There's gonna be a video hopefully. I don't forget. Hopefully I don't forget. And yeah, again this is about traders. I definitely like these two advisors together. The health region definitely goes well with the armor. I kinda like Doom Runnings because you wanna get the gold for raiders, but I would actually go rather Hermolaos or Thought, to be honest. Or even Armor. Armor? Yeah, Armor. For additional health region can work nicely. For Romans, I don't really know, but this I guess this is some Ekes Scorpio. Like I said, I don't really like her, so I think there might be better advisors than her. Definitely works nicely. I think Legeia should work really nicely with the siege as well. So to be honest, I would see like Legeia, Onagers, Scorpios. I wonder how well. Oh yeah, Legeia is gonna work really nicely with Scorpios. Like get a lot of Scorpios with Legeia. That's gonna be nice. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And this one, versatile army with lots of officers. If you don't know, Crassus has actually been changed as well. And well, he's got the houses generation, but now he also grants 4 additional houses to be built, and officer units will cost only 1 population with him. So that's a change there. I don't know how well this is gonna work since it says versatile. I guess it can work. And they have some fun stats here. Total number of each item currently in the game. So for gears, there's a lot of max. For Zahaks, there's not that many Zahaks to be honest. They should return Zahak sword at some point, to be honest. And look at that, not many Minotaurs golden hide. How is that even possible, right? This one made me laugh. Really tasty carrot. I guess people are using this. This is some merchant log. I think it's like 38 level? Maybe lower, I don't know. I think it's 38 when I took a look. It's like 12% trade and 5% movement speed. Pretty nice, but would I keep using it? Nah, not really. There's a lot of Gerdas in the game. There's quite a lot of successes, a lot of capris. Then there are some of these gray items which you typically only sell, but some people are actually collecting these for some reason. Don't ask me. I don't know. Maybe they like cheese. I don't know. And then also these Rakotis legendaries. Like how many of these are in the game? Like Robes of Thebes, I kind of get why it's not that high, and I think this is a nice alternative to the Tunic of Actaeon. Sesostris Curved Kopech is very nice sword for high damage. The question right now is like how many people are going for pure damage and not go like Sword of Tiberius, and how many of them can actually afford this. I'm pretty much surprised about this one because I think Set's Siege Arm is the best throwing arm in the game on so many units except maybe Palintorons. And Bomber Menace, I kinda get why there's not that many. Okay, and that's the end of this. Oh boy. Oh boy, I got some sore throat right there. And also, Romans are coming out soon. It should be somewhere in March, which already is. We already have March. We don't know the exact date when they are coming out. There's still some work needed to be done, but they should be coming out soon. So I wonder. And as soon as they come out, I would love to make a stream where I would stream all the Romans, going through like the whole Roman campaign and just trying out the units and see what they can do. They can look at the stats, at the tax, the cost. Yeah, I would just go through it. So as soon as they come out, I'll try to stream going through the Romans. I don't know when, and all I can say it's gonna be on Twitch. So hopefully it will be soon. It's gonna be big, so why not stream it, right? And yeah, so that's the end of this. A lot of changes here. A lot of changes. So I wonder, which advisor change do you like the most? Like, and which of the new advisors do you like the most? If I had to choose, I think Tisamenos is my most favorite because it's about Hippospis and I want to get more Hippospis. And my least favorite would be how stupidly broken is the goddamn Amulet now. It's just that just does not feel right. But of the new advisors, my least favorite, uh, I guess the Egyptian fortress guy. I don't really see a reason picking him. I guess he's my least favorite. The others I can see some usage, but this guy, I don't really like him. And the favorite change. Okay, let's see. I like the change about Biorix, like this. Least favorite, I want it, obviously. Stupidly broken. Most favorite, I guess these three my like my most favorite, but I still think it's too much, so I don't know if I would pick them as number one. Ligeia is really good. These guys are good. Who's like my most favorite? I guess I'll go with them. Since Biorix is broken, I cannot say he's my favorite now. So I'm gonna go with Heraclitus and Hermolaus. Those two are my most favorite changes here. So yeah, which changes do you like? Which new advisors do you like? Just leave a comment. Tell me what do you like here. And yeah, so that's gonna be all for now. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please press the like button. If you wanna see more, yeah, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, also if you're wondering, there's a lot of links in the description. Like there's not gonna be only like to these changes, But there's so many links. You better make sure you check the description below and take a look at the links. You might be surprised what you might find there. Especially those people who keep asking me where can they download this game. There's a link in the description. Just take a look there. I put it beneath every Age of Empires Online video, and I hate answering just going to that link. Just click on the link, take a look at the description. It's there, and it's working. Just try it. God dang it. So yeah, that's all from me for now. So I'll see you next time. Bye.